Today is Monday, May 4th. So, if you know, may the force be with you. I wanted to come on here and share with you the experience behind my first event for PowerGirls. For those that don't know me, my name is Erica Martinez, real estate agent with Epique Realty, located in Tri-Cities. And I'm also the Washington State PowerGirls leader. And I decided to host this event close to home. So we stayed in Tri Cities and we put on a good show. So if you didn't attend, let me tell you, you missed out on an amazing event. The energy was just unbelievable. I just can't explain to you because you have to be in the room to understand the impact and the fulfillment these kind of events bring. So, on that note, real quick, shout out to all my sponsors who are here, starting off with my Epique sponsors, Don Loading, Jessica Smith, Jay Now, Mark. They were part of our event, and it was amazing to have them join us. On the other side, I do want to say thank you to our sponsors locally who were able to help us contribute and be part of this amazing event. So, shout out to At Home Staffing with Angelica Torres and Ana Solis. Also, Gutter Girl, if you know her, Marcelina Torres. De la Cruz Photography, Rochelle de la Cruz. So if you can go and follow these people, we'd appreciate it. They're amazing entrepreneurs, business owners, and they're all about the community. There's also Segovia Mobile Notary, Delia Segovia, ICCU, Elizabeth Garcia, Elevated Inspections with Leona Gonzalez, and of course, Cross Country Mortgage. I can't leave my power dude behind, Christian Enriquez. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for contributing and helping and being there and being part of this experience. Now, I know a lot of people had some confusion between, being this a woman's event, but it was very much open to power dudes. So if you would have stopped by, you would have seen you wouldn't have been the only one in the room. It was a mix between PowerGirls and Epique networking. So the first half was really navigating towards women. And yes, we did cover a lot of marketing and networking and branding. So if you had or needed or need some help in these areas, coming to this event would have helped you a lot and then showed you some very essential pillars to building your business. At Home Staffing had a great presentation over networking and how it helped them build their business. I know a lot of people are not good at networking and getting to know new people. It can be scary. I get it. I was there at one point. I didn't know that I would have been the biggest side of building my business. So they had some good content. And then Gutter Girl with her magnetic marketing. Sorry. She does amazing. I mean, she knows what she's talking about. She's got some philosophy behind it, experience, knowledge. And it's very true that you have to make it personable and, let people know who you are. So part of me doing this video is taking some of her advice and just sharing more of myself. Rochelle with De La Cruz had an amazing presentation over branding. A lot of the times we kind of don't put a lot of thought behind our logo, what it represents, how it represents ourselves. So she went over those very important details to keep in mind when building your logo and, how to build around it, what to include, and remembering your why. So a little bit behind her presentation, she did talk about social media and how to kind of post, what kind of posts you should be doing, what kind of content you should be sharing. So that was very informational and eye-opening because everything changes. We're talking about the algorithm, we're talking about what type of content to create when you don't know what to create, right? So if you're an entrepreneur, you kind of know what that's like when you kind of cover your bases and then you start seeing other people marketing and you're like, wait a minute, do I replicate that or do I put a twist to it? Ideally, you want to put a twist to it because you want to showcase your individuality or independence, right? Or your creativity in most parts. So today's video is mainly to share my experience with the event, and I couldn't really make it possible without some very special people, some amazing women who have been with me for maybe the past year. And we're going to start off with our area leader, Michelle Bonin. She has been amazing at supporting, being an area leader, obviously, but most importantly, she has also become part of our Power Girls and always there to support, always there to inspire and, guide and educate is what she does. And she does it very well. So thank you, Michelle, for being there, for contributing and helping put it all together, sharing a little bit about you and your logo, because that was very important. I really think your logo is amazing and it fits you perfectly. Another person that was there to help me was Brenda Martinez. She is also a real estate agent and she works for a restoration company, but she is my local leader for PowerGirls, and she has done an amazing job at connecting, bringing people into the group, sharing with others what our mission is, and I'm so proud of how she has developed within this position without really knowing it, because she was a little surprised when I asked her, but she fits the description and the job perfectly. So that's what that was. It was amazing to watch my sponsors come in, some of our Epique agents in Washington State join us and have a good interaction with each other and engaging experience and team building, because that's really what we ended up doing. But it was amazing. It was awesome. And on that note, with our Epique agents, I had another person come in and help with like the biggest heart in the world. This is Amber O'Brien. She is our Power Girl leader for Oregon, and she's amazing at just being herself, helping, being energetic. So she brought that little twist of, hey, where do you need me? What do I do? How do I help you? Let's go. So without their contribution, their help, their support, I wouldn't have been able to put this together. No lie, this is my very first event, and I have a little bit of knowledge behind events. I've done few, but they were a little bit smaller, more personal, more just locally based. But this one was my first big event, and it taught me a lot. Definitely will keep doing them because I feel like we all need some knowledge, and we all can learn something new from each other. That's always been my thing when I teach somebody something, is remembering who taught me and what helped me, right? So I will be having more of those. So on that, I wanted to share a little bit about myself. I know I don't really come on here and share with y'all more about me personally. I kind of keep it more towards my business because I want to build my business, right? And there's so many things out there that tell you what to do, how to do it, what to share, what content to put out there. But sometimes it can be a little scary to put your information out there, let alone details about you and just personal information. But I know that a lot of you have gotten to know me on a personal level because we've networked. I see you out. I've actually made the connection with you. We've had a coffee, lunch, maybe seen it at an event. I do go to those as well locally, to some of our brokers event or like open houses for some of the title companies. So I've gotten to learn or meet a lot of people in the industry. And in the event, um, yeah, I realized that I don't share enough and I haven't really put my story out there. So today I want to tell you a little bit about me, and I guess my screen's just shut off. So, okay. So again, at the event, I realized I don't share enough about me, and a lot of people don't know a lot of my background. I don't want to share this and make it go long and boring, but basically, I'll tell you about PowerGirls. When I first saw PowerGirls out there, I remember this was back in, I want to say 2017. I was a single mom. I was in school. I was on unemployment, and I was working part time. I was working on my AAs and business fundamentals, and obviously, I had a baby by then. He was about 4 years old, and that took a lot of my time already. But I was on unemployment because I had left a job previously that was full time, and it allowed me to leave the job and cash out on my unemployment. So I took advantage of that, and I said, you know what? I really don't know what I want to do, but I know that I want to finish school. So I went right back to school, and I made it my mission to finish school, regardless of me having income. But obviously, being on unemployment, you have to be looking for a job, right? So then I developed this habit of going on to Indeed, or like a job platform that would help you find jobs or land jobs, right? So I was on there. I basically found a job, a part-time job for receptionist. So I took it. I did this for about 2 to 3 months, if I remember right, and it was a lot, between being a mom, doing school full time, online. So this was before like online was more common, even though it was already a thing, but it wasn't as common as it is now. And I was working part time and cashing out my unemployment. I was just on Instagram one day and I was just scrolling, right? After having a long day, I realized, okay, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to stop studying. And I started going towards my feed or through my feed. And then I saw Power Girls post, right? Talking about woman empowerment, inspirational, support, community, all of that. And it just like drew me to it instantly, and I remember being so inspired by it. Like, wow, I hope that one day I will have my own tribe like that. If I find my purpose or find my job or whatever it was at the moment, that I'd have a community that I can share and be friends with more than anything. But it really meant more than just friendships. It meant more of like support, inspiration, motivation, and education, right? And woman empowerment, obviously. So I put it in the back of my mind, but I remember I saw it. And so then I continued school. I finished school. I went into retail jobs. So I became a bartender. I was doing cashier at a local Burlington, and I moved up to a lead position. So then I started wanting more for myself. I didn't think that getting paid minimum, or it was a good paying job for what it was, but I didn't think that that was going to be my lifetime job, right? Or I just didn't see myself doing that for the rest of my life. And then COVID hit. And I had to quit my job. As a bartender, you were not an essential. So I was not let go, or I didn't quit, let me rephrase that, but I did have to go on unemployment. I opened my unemployment one more time, and I was thankful for it, because otherwise I don't know what I would have done if I wouldn't have been able to have another source of income at that time. And as we started coming back from COVID, um, I had also landed the job as the Burlington cashier and went into the lead position. And so when we came, when things were opening back up, Burlington was essential, and I started working again. But then um, I got pregnant, so I couldn't be on my feet very long, and I landed a job working for customer service from home with a really big company that does industrial kitchens. And I remember that I wasn't really looking for this job. This job found me at the right time, at the right place, basically. What was better than working from home, getting paid, regular 9 to 5 job, and then doing your thing? So I took it. I was there for 3 years. And I remember that at first it wasn't really what I wanted to do, because who likes to take calls? Who likes to work for a call center? I know that I don't. So that was a really different transition from what I was already used to and what I knew, to having to take calls every day and take orders and learning systems and just working with technology, and then learning to kind of de-escalate things, right? Situations. And I got really good at it. I essentially became a lead, and I was overseeing people who were coming into the company getting trained. I was training them, I was helping them through the night. Well, not the night, but the closing shift, because the main company was in Central Time, Chicago, and so Washington State, we were on a 2 hour difference, right? So anybody who worked the night shift was basically from the West Coast. And I kind of enjoyed the job for what it was. I got to meet a lot of people, talk to people around the nation, because I was part of a chains department. And so that really, we had a lot of traffic come in the afternoon. And when I was at this job, I kind of realized that having a 9 to 5 wasn't going to allow me to make a lot of money and really be my own boss. So I made the decision. I started looking for a job again. Here I go on Indeed again. And I landed on this real estate post. And I remember thinking to myself, well, how bad can it be, right? But I don't have a lot of skills in sales. So I had a little doubt in myself, but then I told myself, no, you need to stop doubting yourself. So let's give it a shot. That's when I signed up for um, to be a real estate agent. Long story short, 3 years later, here I am, real estate agent, doing what I love, helping others, teaching people, because I do educate a lot of people. I'm trying to be consistent with my first time homebuyer classes, but it's a little hard to maintain them sometimes. And when I came into Epique Realty, I met a lot of people, right? So many motivational people, inspirational, and committed to help you grow. And I loved it. And here I go meeting one of my sponsors, Downloading. And she just caught my eye. I loved her energy. I wanted to work with her from the beginning, but obviously she was already really busy at that time. But she has trainings, right? She's a coach. So I signed up for her training, and I got to know her a little bit better. I connected with her. One day I called her with a question, and she answered me, and I was like in shock that she really answered me. I'm like, wait a minute, you answered my call? You don't know who I am? She's like, yeah, I mean, what can I help you with? Like, what can I do for you, right? So then I built a relationship with her, even though she's miles away from me. But she's such a sweet person, and I love that she was willing to help me regardless of whether what I needed from her would benefit her at all. That's just the type of person that she is. And I remember, slowly building this connection with her. And then one day, she just randomly texts me. She's like, you're located in Washington, right? And I said, yes, ma'am. Tri-Cities, Washington. That's where I'm at. She's like, okay, can we get on a call real quick? I have a question for you. I said, yeah, sure. And we get on this call, and she was like, asking how I was doing, my progress, and all of that. And then she just throws it at me. She's like, do you know PowerGirls? And I'm like, why does that name sound so familiar? I'm like, yeah, I do. I think I do. And she's like, well, we're looking for a leader in Washington State. And I remember you're in Washington. And I was wondering if you want to be part of Power Girls. And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, let's go. Let's do it. And so that's how I ended up being part of Power Girls. And this group has really helped me grow a lot. Aside from like situations and things that I've learned from, this group has also helped me to connect with others, especially women who are on a sim mission, who are entrepreneurs, who want to build together and help each other out. But more than anything, we do have educational times where they bring on guest speakers that teach you different things regarding business, or sometimes not even about business. It could be personal, it could be mental, it could be health, you name it. They just bring different people to come and speak and teach us something new, or go through some workshops and help us kind of work through it. In a lot of the Power Girl meetings, we don't talk about, hey, I have this listing, can you find me a buyer, or how can I help you make more money? But it's more about, let's talk about our wins, let's talk about our challenges. How can we help you get through something that you're going through? And if it's a challenge, talk to us. Maybe, one head, two head, three heads work better than one. Or maybe someone in the room has been through it and they can share their experience. So this group really helped me when I was going through a lot of hard times and I wasn't sure how to move forward, what was the best way to do it. Or even like when you have a challenging transaction. I mean, they're all real estate agents and they had a lot of feedback to give, but sometimes we do also have other business owners, like maybe lenders or title reps, or you name it. Anybody that's in the industry can join this group. So I've been really inspired by them. I love working with these ladies. I love meeting new ladies who come up. I think I've shared more than enough in this video, and there's gonna be more that I want to share, but I really wanted to get this out before we share all the good videos that were taken and pictures of this event. And I wanted you to understand why this event was very important for me. Um, I just want to help others grow. I do. I want to help those that want to build and need some motivation in their life or some inspiration to keep going in the hard times. Being a business owner can be very challenging the first few years, or maybe the first 5 years, because there's so much that you just don't know. And it's not easy to kind of know where to go when you're feeling stuck, when you hit a bump in the road. So having a group where you can come and ask questions openly and kind of get directed to where you need to be is going to help you 100%. 100%. So if you take anything from this video, just keep going. If you're a new business owner, do all the things that scare you, because chances are that those things that scare you are really going to get you going, get you noticed, get you clients, and start bringing in some rev to your business. Another thing that I really want to put out there is that don't ever doubt yourself. Okay, if there's anything you want to give up for, any reason why you want to give up, the last reason should be is because you're doubting yourself. You are capable of so much, whether you believe it or not. And there is a saying that says, whether you think you can do it, you're right, or if you think you can't do it, you are also right. So start with your mentality. If you feel like you've been being like drained, or you feel like you are not meant to do what you're trying to do, or you feel lost, sometimes you need to take a step back and do things that are going to help you grow as an individual first. Sometimes we have all this self-doubt that we don't work on, and we try to do new things because obviously we want to move forward, we want to grow, but then we don't work on the one thing that is really going to make it happen, right? You are the machine behind everything in your business. So if you are not okay, if you are not in the right mind space, you're not going to be able to do the things you need to do to build your business. So if you're having issues with mentally, if you need motivation, find the things that you're struggling with and work on that. And I guarantee you that it's going to help you move forward easier. And I'm not going to say that there's not going to be any challenges, because there's challenges every day in business. And as a business owner, I'm sure people can agree to that. And also, don't be afraid to do things sooner. Don't wait. There is no waiting. There's literally no blueprint to how you should build a business. You can literally do things the way you want to do things and still be successful. Yes, you can look at research, you can do things that other people do, because sometimes, other people have great ideas, but they weren't successful because they copied somebody else. They were successful because they took what they learned and made it their own. They took that risk to do the thing they were afraid of. And so if you just do the one thing you're afraid of, you will conquer it and you will be successful. There's no doubt about it. I used to be scared of public speaking. I used to be scared of sharing more information about myself, or at least like my experiences. And I've come to learn that those experiences have made me who I am. And I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot in these 2 years in real estate. Now going on my 3rd year, I am so ready to have such a fruitful year and share more with you guys and the public. So stay tuned. Come back for my next video. There's going to be a lot more of this PowerGirls empowerment going on, but also a lot of real estate, because that is what I do, real estate agent. Also, I do taxes. So if you have questions over your taxes, call me, and I will see you soon.